Aladdin is the newest film in the line of unnecessary live-action remakes of classic Disney animated films, and follows the titular character as he meets and falls in love with the Princess Jasmine, meets the genie, and fights the villain Jafar. If you've seen the original, which I'm assuming most of you have, you know the plot, so no need to explain it in detail. Most of the live-action Disney remakes I've seen so far, I still haven't seen Cinderella or The Jungle Book, fail to capture what make their original counterparts so great, with Beauty and the Beast being basically the same movie note for note except with none of the charm and elegance of the original, Dumbo being an overlong and dull remake of the 1941 classic, and this one in my opinion is the worst of the live-action remakes so far. The acting in Aladdin is surprisingly pretty mediocre for the most part. Mena Massoud is not very good as Aladdin and tries really hard to capture the thief of a heart of gold from the original film, but is never able to achieve it in this film. Naomi Scott is decent in her role as Jasmine, even though the scenes she shares with Massoud are dull, and the two have no chemistry whatsoever. Marwan Kenzari is absolutely awful in this film as Jafar, and is easily the weakest actor in it. He's incredibly goofy, hammy, and has none of the calm yet intimidating presence that Jafar had in the original film. He's like a mix between a villain played by William Shakespeare and a villain from an episode of Power Rangers, and it doesn't work at all. The best performance in this film is easily Will Smith as the genie. Now, obviously, no one will ever top Robin Williams' iconic portrayal of the genie in the original, but Smith does a good job of bringing a lot of energy and charisma to his character. It's the only actor that looks like that they were trying to give a good performance. One of the biggest problems I have with Aladdin is how it tries to invoke and capture the feel of the original film. This remake tries way too hard to capture the beauty and magic of the original. It fails miserably at it. There are many elements like the songs, the genie, the setting, and the visuals that do not translate well into live action. Half the time it feels fake and lifeless. There are also many points in the film where you can tell it drags on when it doesn't need to. The original film was 90 minutes long and feels concise and perfectly paced. With this one, it's 2 hours and 8 minutes, and all the new things not found in the original, like the new songs and character building, come off as forgettable and adds a lot of unnecessary filler to the film. The visual effects and set design are also poor for the most part. The CGI in this film ranges from decent to absolutely atrocious. And yes, the CGI for the genie is just as bad as it looks in the trailers. It's not just the genie that looks bad though. Characters like Abu, Raja, Iago, and the Magic Carpet not only look incredibly mediocre, but feel lifeless compared to their animated counterparts. Seriously, who at Disney thought that the Magic Carpet would translate well into live action? The sets in this movie also feel fake, and look like they belong in a Bollywood movie or a stage play version of Aladdin. You can tell half of it was shot on a soundstage, and I was never invested once in the movie. For being set in a city with a bunch of poverty and stuff all around the streets, it feels too clean and polished to make me believe that. Sadly, another problem I have with Aladdin is the direction by Guy Ritchie. I haven't seen every Guy Ritchie film, but the ones I've seen have an incredibly unique style in the way they're filmed and executed, and none of that craftsmanship is displayed here. Honestly, I feel like Ritchie didn't really know how to approach this film, especially during the musical sequences, because most of them consist of the camera just following a character around while singing, and none of them have any style or creativity. The live-action Beauty and the Beast and Dumbo remakes weren't good movies, but at least those movies had a style to them, with Bill Condon and Tim Burton directing them. Here it just feels very basic and dull with how it's directed. If I do have any positive things I can say about Aladdin, it's that the costume design is very well done, and there was a lot of effort put into all the various outfits that characters wear in this film. Another positive thing I can say is that Alan Tudyk and Frank Welker's vocal performances were great. Frank Welker reprises all of his roles from the original film and does an excellent job. Then again, it is Frank Welker. But Alan Tudyk does a great job as Iago and was so good at doing macaw vocals that at times I thought it was a real macaw speaking. Then again, it is Alan Tudyk, who is great in just about everything. Overall, Aladdin is a dull and bland remake that pales in comparison to the original film. Like Beauty and the Beast and Dumbo, it tries to capture the magic of the original but falls flat on its face. I don't get why Disney feels the need to remake their classic animated films, and those movies are perfect the way they are. I think it's due to the fact that they are an evil empire that revels in how much money they make off these films because of the nostalgia that my generation of millennials have from them. We want to see our childhoods in a new light, even though we have the originals to watch over and over again. Sorry, I'm not falling for it, and I believe that the live-action remakes of The Lion King, Lady and the Tramp, and Mulan will continue to follow this trend of bland live-action remakes of great animated films that so many people love and cherish. I'm giving the live-action remake of Aladdin a D.